that, yes or no. If you can't answer it, just don't.
Then the father of pragmatism was not the best pragmatic person.
Yeah, but these guys are ideologues. That's what I'm telling you. When you memorize
So this is why I preface with saying that certain people they mistake. The layman's use of the word what is pragmatic, what benefits me, self-serving.
What do you mean with that by that? I wanted to ask before, but I'm not familiar with
this guy clearly didn't ever practice any of that stuff. You just memorized the book.
What does that mean? Hold on. Who is
layman? It's the same. Yeah, it's layman is like the way people use it in everyday.
It's how everyday people just say words.
Yeah. So, like, say, hypothesis, right? I have this hypothesis, when I fart, the butterfly dies. Now, that's not a hypothesis. There's absolutely no proof for that. It's just a person's musings, right? But we use it as a theory. No, sorry. A theory. I have a theory that when I fart, the butterfly dies. So people don't use it in the sense it's used in science, what a theory is. So you have a hypothesis, you do experiment, and then it proves the experiment and becomes a theory.
But this layman thing is a component of pragmatism then, because it's everyday people, because in the end are individual ideas that are not proven.
That's in the definition. Because here's the type of guy who studied it, but that's all you know.
Everything could be something.
Yeah, you still couldn't answer my question. How is it pragmatic? Regardless of pragmatism, whether it be layman or I don't know some like
I don't look at the word related.
So how is it pragmatic for you to try to make a system that is designed to be shipwrecked rather than navigate the problems? Okay, you're not answering the question though. Okay, you are answering it.
He was answering Jesus' question.
Just shut up. You're
Yeah, Monty, I mean, you started reading something random. Hold on, he was answering another.
I didn't answer my question.
So you can be a pragmatist and think that because you are engaging in collective project, uplifting the whole society, the end result benefits for you are going to be much higher, and you don't have to work so hard, or you don't use as much energy because well, everything is an assumption, right?
Okay, so then why do you say that it's not pragmatic to be more individualistic?
What the pragmatism does, it puts certain mechanisms in place and says, if I activate this, does this benefit me and benefits the whole society, but it benefits me because it benefits the whole society.
So hold on a second. If it's pragmatic, then
pragmatist,
a
social
doesn't give a shit about the rest of the world.
But if it's pragmatic, then it will work in practice, correct?
Okay, can we say that it depends on the objective of the pragmatist? Hold on. Because for example, if the pragmatic person's objective is to bring up society, then the objective of him would be A plus B plus C. We'll get to that point. But if the pragmatic individual is an individualistic one and only cares, for example, like the example of Randy, he just wants his children to thrive, then he thinks that by bringing education
okay, so but you don't got it because I'm asking you
this is exactly
what it depends on the objective.
No, that's not what
exactly. Pragmatism makes it a very important claim that there are no objective.
But that's not what you're saying.
Goals, that they're full good as your pragmatic goal. That you're pragmatist and collectors at the same time. So you don't necessarily need to be.
Yeah, so you can take your communism elsewhere. How do I answer the question?
This is like a
is it not? If it's pragmatism, then it will be work and practice, correct? Otherwise, it's not pragmatic.
So in the end,
for collective.
pragmatism is just basically like
yes,
the
let's talk collectivist. At the collectivist level, if it's pragmatic, it would work once it's applied. Correct?
Correct, but just as
no, that's what I mean. So if it does work
only when it's applied.
Okay, but if it's not working, that means it's not pragmatic. Therefore, if that's not pragmatic, then what is?
I get it.
Then it must be something else. You're a fool.
Okay, so in order to be pragmatic,
play with my balls if you want to play with something.
Hold on. In order to be pragmatic, what Randy is saying is that it has to be demonstrable. It cannot just be a theory, right? Because requires kind of like a cycle, that you try something, try it again, works, etc. So if you, for example, are applying
individual or if it's collective,
pragmatism, you it will not prove your theory, so it stops being pragmatic.
Right, but it's not
and
working
becomes-
pragmatically,
So,
it's not working for the collective, it works for the individual, therefore it's pragmatic at the individual level, not the collective.
False. That's false.
How is that
So,
false? Don't say false, doesn't happen.
watch this, Ethan. So if my goal, you kind of unlock the code for yourself. It all depends on your objectives. If your objective is for society to be equitable, right? That's your goal. You will do pragmatic things to achieve that goal. So everything is goal dependent. So you can be a
Yeah, I
collectivist.
understand that part.
Yeah, you're saying nothing, it's a big nothing.
For it to be pragmatic, Andre, you need to have a tangible result. So you
Correct.
cannot say, I am being pragmatic by trying to implement this theory in order to achieve equity or equality if you never
Okay,
see
so
the
for
result.
example,
motherfucker.
so for example, they say, okay, so in order for us to have everybody have at least 2 pairs of shoes, we need to collectivize our factories, we need to have a state-run economy that will produce a certain number of shoes. They implement it and then they look at the results. Does everybody have 2 pairs of shoes? Yes, wonderful. We're very pragmatic about this.
That's not how it works.
To collectivize, that's how it worked in Soviet.
My fuck you on no one cares about your dumb shit. How it works is people want shoes, and because they want shoes, now
He's
they
not a
have
socialist, dude. He's just trying to make the case for collectivist pragmatism.
But that's retarded, that's boring,
No, but
Here's
Randy,
here's
he
the
should
ring,
stop.
doesn't know where it comes
He's
from.
trying
This
to
is
make
so
a case
stupid.
for collectivist pragmatism and
It's just a little
I'm
serious.
trying to understand his point.
Let him cook, like, why is that
The
so
only
hard?
reason we have shoes is not because we collectively decide
Simon,
at
you're
the
so
centralized
hard
level that we're gonna create shoes. No, we have shoes because people individually
He's
want shoes and individually have the incentive to make something happen.
He's not saying otherwise, Randy. He's
He's
just
He's saying
saying.
nothing. He's telling you it's all about your objectives. Man, put your objectives up your ass. It doesn't matter.
Yes, because
I care
that's
about
what you
my
agree
well-being,
with as
not
well.
societal well-being.
Why are we
We're
have to
talking
think?
about objectives as well,
He doesn't
not
understand what
Because
objective
he's
Your
thinking about the
objective,
societal well-being and all that gay shit. Get
That's
back
not
to
what
it
he's
now.
saying. That's not what he's
that
saying.
he doesn't give a shit about that.
Okay, then can you summarize what you're saying in 10 seconds? Because I'm very concise and clear and straight to the point. Can you go ahead?
He
Randy,
can't even.
he's trying to make the case for collective pragmatism, just like you make the case for individual
I understand that, nigga. When we're talking about schooling, if, as I said, if it's pragmatist approach, then it will work in practice. It's clearly not working. Therefore, pragmatism when it comes to school is at the individual level. I get to navigate it. I don't get to change the system. I'm not interested. So you can take your collective pragmatism, put it in aluminum foil, turn it into a sphere and shove it up your ass.
What
That's
I'm
what
saying, Andre, so dumb.
No, go ahead, I'm gonna go in.
What I'm trying to tell Andre is that in order for there to be pragmatism, there needs to be something proven. Like this example, for example, of praying and it rains. And every time you pray, it rains. So you take a pragmatic approach to it. And every time that you want it to rain, you pray. Right? So, but you need that iterative process, you know, that you pray and it rains and that correlation so that your brain registers it like that. But in the case of, for example, communism or collective pragmatism, you can maybe make a collective pragmatism
There's nothing pragmatist at the collective,
shorter-
motherfucker.
at a smaller dimension, you know, but
How is it
Not
for example,
smaller. It's
communism.
Can you explain how you can be a pragmatist at the collective level? How can it be practical to lead the man?
That is what he was trying to explain
He won't
with
be
the
able to.
shoes, but you interrupted him.
Go ahead, tell us how that can happen.
you don't.
Okay, so go ahead, I don't think so, go ahead.
Even what objective? So Soviet Union said, for example, in order for us to make everybody happy, we need to make sure that our industry is like number 3 in the world. I'm just being unfair. And so what they did, they starved people, they stole their grain, they collectivized all their farms, and they achieved their goal.
Because it's
And
not
so they looked
pragmatic.
at the situation, it is pragmatic, because they looked at the situation and said, here's our goal. This is what we did. Did we achieve our goal? We did.
I disagree, I don't think that's
So
what
this
they
is-
want.
So this is what we're gonna be doing from now on, because it works for our objectives.
Yeah, I think their objectives and your perception of their objectives are 2 totally different things. They actually
It
believe
doesn't
them.
matter. This is just an example, Randy.
Ah,
He's not talking about his perception.
Abstract.
Why
No,
are we
you're incapable of being real with real actual like It
So
just
what's
turned out
neither
to.
realistic?
It-
Your example about the public education was neither realistic.
Yes, of course it is.
So the reason why Dewey, for example, who was a social pragmatist, by the way, was
How did that
was
work out?
successful, is because he was trying to uplift the public education.
Exactly,
This is
how
what
did
he
it work
concerned
out?
himself with. And his pragmatic choices were all subservient to the collectivist goals that he put in front of him. And this is
Which
why
one of
people
them was?
do it collectivist, and this is why Simon has a
But it
problem.
wasn't really practical.
Because-
Since it didn't
Okay,
work.
let's go for a realistic. Would this be work in a realistic scenario?
No.
Hold on.
So
The
this is
Democrats
what's
wanted,
interesting
hold
about
on. The Democrats wanted to win, right? So pragmatically, they needed to do anything they could in order to stay in the presidency for the greater good. So they went for mailing ballots, they went for slow counting, they went for cheating. So that would be pragmatic, right? In order to achieve their objective. And that could be a collective pragmatism, right?
No, it can't, because his goal wasn't even to do that. If it's pragmatic, it will work in practice. His objective is not what you think his objective is. Period. You're more
So
delusional
his
than
objective would be then an individual.
if you think his
I
goal
want
was to
stay in
make people
power, I
brain
want to
dead,
manipulate everything else to stay in power.
so is
That's
his
the
objective
point,
to make people
Andrew.
brain dead? Was that his objective? No, it wasn't. Okay, so then don't claim that it is. No, his objective was to
Actually, Andrew, he is right in this.
Of course
Because
I'm right.
hold on. The pragmatist.
Did you say rabbi's right?
Of course, this guy's an. I'm not trying.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
wrong. It makes
thinking
sense.
here. I'm doing a process of thinking while I'm walking. So, Andre, listen to this. In communist societies, the objective, you said, and I think you wrongly said, the objective is to make all people happy. This is false because you never can make all people happy. So,
It's the American.
So you're
the actual objective, hold on, the actual objective here is to bring everyone to the same equality because you want to have power. So ultimately, the pragmatist is looking for an individual objective, even if that means that he needs to make use of the collective.
That
But that
wasn't
would be
even
the
their
same as
objective.
Randy.
That
That
wasn't
would be
their
the same as Randy, because
So-
Randy's objective, just let me
Motherfucker, their objective was to
Randy's
create a state of
objective
communism where there's a world
just
of
for his
abundance.
children.
No, you have no idea what you're talking about. Shut up.
Then you ever would what?
You have zero
With
idea.
But how about you go back to Ukraine and fight for Zelensky, motherfucker?
Yeah.
You'll do better on the battlefield than any intellectual arena, man.
So
I'm just
here's
telling
the
you.
thing.
Ah.
No, he's just a moron.
Yeah, I'm a moron because
So-
you can't explain your
Isa,
position.
So Isa, I explained several times, you're incapable of understanding.
Yeah, we are incapable of, yeah, you're a fool.
No. Others are capable, you are not. So obviously, I understand why you
No, I think obviously you should go to war. Zelensky.
Because you cannot compete with other people.
Yeah, but you can't
So you
compete
need to
with
bring
everybody,
everybody
so
to
we
the
need
level.
more reinforcements.
They actually have much more in common with communists than I thought at first. Oh, interesting.
But you're the one who misrepresents the communists and what they wanted to do. It doesn't matter if he is or if he isn't. The communists actually believe in their system. Do we actually believe in his education system? He actually thinks it's gonna make people better off academically.
Isa, what you're confusing is the objectives of the regime that were stated very clearly and had to do with uplifting all the individuals, making them all happy.
Yeah, but the main objective was
They never mentioned happiness. Where did they mention happiness? Go ahead. Where did they mention it? No one ever talked about happiness in the Soviet Union. You're dumb.
Andre, but it's not pragmatic because not all of them were happy.
Isa,
You have to reread the Communist Manifesto.
They never talked about happiness. That's not even a concept.
Let the Russian finish.
So when you were talking about their goals, you're confusing their goals that are clearly stated, right? With your interpretation of whether they are moral or good. Those are two different things. So from their perspective,
No.
in order for
We're saying these goals are not clearly stated.
for them to actually achieve their goals, what they needed to do is go, take the private ability to have private property away from people because that's what making them unhappy. That's what making them compete with each other, and it's very unnatural.
You're still claiming that the goal is to make them happy.
And
No, because Andrew, we already established at the beginning that the morality doesn't play a role in pragmatism. So it doesn't matter. It's not where I'm going.
No, it's not the goal isn't even to make them happy. What he's saying is different my assumptions and let's go from there. But I'm not
You
going
set as the objective. Hold on. You set as the objective, making everyone happy. So if that is the objective, that's
exactly,
the point.
but that wasn't.
It's not whether it's moral or not. It's
Listen,
to
and
make
this is
everyone
why.
happy. So it's not pragmatic.
Exactly.
And this is why it is pragmatic. And this is why the neo-communists and those tankies and all those assholes, what they say when you give Soviet Union and they say they didn't do it the right way. We know the right way. So we're still pragmatic about our goals. We just need more control.
This guy's saying
But then pragmatism goes out of the window.
This guy's saying
It's not
It's
pragmatism
not going
anymore.
out of the window. They're still staying true to the pragmatic.
okay, so everything is
Can you,
pragmatic as long as you
hey, hold on. One of the two of you, can you ask ChatGPT?
No, I'm telling you, he's
Hold
defining
on.
it in a different way
Just
now. He's
listen to
saying
this.
as long as
Listen
you
to
persist,
this.
it's pragmatic.
Can one of the
Exactly.
two of you ask ChatGPT if communism can be pragmatic? Can be perceived as from a pragmatic point of view?
Today, no,
I
it
don't
cannot
think it can.
because we didn't have communists. We had socialists whose objective wasn't like the school says to make people happy. Their objective was actually to create communism, which is a state of abundance, which is not pragmatic, and hence it failed. So he's misrepresenting their objectives, and he's telling you, oh, pragmatism can be anything. It depends on objectives, but he can't give you an objective. He's misrepresenting it, and then he's telling you, oh, well, it's pragmatic because they didn't give up on it. So as long as you persist, it's pragmatic. Yeah, eat my ass. Ain't nobody got time for your dumb shit. You're way out of your league, dude. I'm telling you. Now, collectively, there's nothing pragmatic. There's nothing you can do at the collective level that is pragmatic. Now, back to the topic is education.
Okay, so
Do he actually believe in his education system? He actually believes it makes people better. This is the objective. You can assume that objective away, but that is the objective of his work, and it failed. Therefore, it's not practical.
Oh, you guys.
So either way, what's practical is for me to benefit at the individual level, and you're just puzzle that.
It's like the
So you can laugh at your misery another time. I would like a response. Exactly.
Okay, that's cool. Awesome. Looking very nice. No, I was checking through the boxes. I need to call the Ferguson just to clarify a couple of things for me, but I think we should have.
They don't teach them math, but they also don't teach them how to mute the fuck up in Ukraine.
Wait, I thought he's Russian. He's Ukrainian or Russian?
if he's Russian,
He's
a
half and half. He's half and half.
That's why he's a cuck.
He's confused.
Yeah, it does make sense. Anyways, he's saying
I know which one is the better half.
You're Russian.
Doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. The persist your
So Isa, to answer your question, so here is the pragmatic
Which question?
in communism context. Here's the examples of these. NEP, New Economic Policy by Lenin. That is a pragmatist approach to the communist objectives. The NCLP, reforms in China, the late 20th century, introduced market-oriented reforms. China's economy, he famously stated, that no matter what the party is, black or white, as long as it catches mice. So this is the pragmatist approach to the communism. They have as their final objective is reaching communism,
But
which
that's a
means
very broad
they
umbrella.
do it, whether they do it by state economy or free market economy is secondary. So they
Do you understand that what you're saying is every single thing is pragmatic?
Pragmatic tools.
Okay, you're saying everything is pragmatic as long as you
Correct,
persist. Do you
and it's
understand that?
not.
But he is saying as long as you persist,
Once
it's
again,
pragmatic.
switching
Anything
back
you
and
do is
forth.
pragmatic as long as you're persistent when it comes to your goals.
What pragmatism is and the layman's interpretation of what
Lame and oh my god, kick my ass.
you personally think is
What a
pragmatic.
total waste of time, this guy. Worse than Black Rabbi. Literally, what you're saying is anything and everything is pragmatic as long as you persist to the goals. Whatever the fuck you do, as long as you are insistent that the goal I'm gonna stick to, that's pragmatic.
You guys make my ass.
I would
You
like
guys
it to be more realistic, and let's come back from La La Land into reality. You've been away from Ukraine for a long time.
God, you guys make my ass twitch so much.
Yeah, let's you're mispronouncing it. Sport. Let's come back to reality, dude. At the collective level, there's nothing that's pragmatic. Period.
Wait, Andre,
No,
how
I want
you should be in Ukraine.
You should be.
Did
You'd
you
be better
leave?
off at the battlefield.
Well, yes,
Yeah,
Why do you want to send him to Ukraine? He was not born there. Or
Because
what?
he's better
Oh,
off.
okay, never mind then. Sorry.
It's pragmatic.
He was born in Russia.
Well,
Russia,
okay,
Russia,
but
Russia.
that's total cuckoldry. It doesn't matter. I don't care where he's from. Honestly. It is pragmatic for you to navigate a failed system than try to fix it when all individual incentives are opposed to it being good. Hence, it's bad to begin with.
So let's go to the basics. In pragmatic epistemology.
My God, he's like a parrot. We understand we're dumb epistemology. How about you apply it for once?
Absolutes, right? So it's all contingent.
You're saying nothing.
I like how he's slowing down. He's slowing.
20 times.
If you consider collective goals as your primary objective.
Yeah, it depends on whatever goal you have. I mean, you stick to it. It's pragmatic. Yes, we get it. We got it. We got it the first 20 times.
Is pragmatic.
Yes, we got it. We got it the first 20 times. Yes.
No, you didn't. You obviously didn't.
I'm more, but I like to do it from that land.
This is why
I
you
like to deal with what things are on the ground.
at the screen of your iPhone.
Yeah, but I would like to act, well, I would like to talk
Actually,
on
he's
my
an Android. He's an Android.
Oh my God.
Right, how about we come back
Leave
to
his
that?
tongue out of your ass, dude.
Let's talk about how it is on the ground, fool. Nobody cares what you think it should be based on, oh, it could be anything and everything as long as you persist. No one gives two shits. You're saying nothing.
Oh, listen, you should have a
Bring in Mr. Edward.
you
If
should
it's
have
everything,
a-
if it's everything, that means there's nothing.
No, we do need Mr. Edward because I think he missed his match, dude.
I had forgotten about Mr. Edward.
He says nothing.
Can we talk about it? Can we
We
talk
have a
about
situation on the ground. What's the practical way forward? The practical way forward is individual.
That's what you think.
There's a reason why the system is shit. There's a reason why it's shit.
And you can actually
Andre, what is your IQ score?
and take it to
What?
I was asking Andre what his IQ is.
Like Forrest Gump?
That's right.
No, there's nothing worse than someone who's arrogant and ignorant at the same time. That's like Justin Trudeau type of shit.
What are you talking about?
I'm just talking because the guy is saying nothing.
But why do you need to call people stupid? He's definitely not stupid. He's one of the
No, I
less
don't think
stupid
it's about-
persons in this house.
Yeah, I don't think he's cognitively there because he's
They're
so
not
detached from
stupid.
reality. Reality is that there's
Just
a
gonna be
system
retarded.
that's good because it's not meant to
Well,
be
you know,
good.
Rain Man was very smart, even though
It's not meant to be good.
Rain
That's why
Man,
it's not good.
Yeah, the Rain Man.
the one that prayed to make it rain.
The one look, yeah.
Tom Cruise to make
You know what?
Hey, you ever seen that movie with Tom Cruise?
According to this guy, Isabel, if you pray to make it rain, that's pragmatic. You just have to stay persistent and keep doing it. That's
Yeah,
pragmatic.
that is not pragmatic. Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean,
I
if you-
if
if you
you
try
do
to
it
do
and
it,
it
eventually it
rains,
will rain.
yes.
But according to his definition, it is because you're persistent.
Yeah, I
It
know.
doesn't work
I
the first time, not if I pray
disagree
different,
on
then it
that.
will work. That's
I
pragmatic.
disagree on that.
Right, exactly. So how do you know I'm smart? How is that guy smart?
And did the rain fall? Did the rain fall because you prayed, or did the rain fall because
He
it
is
was
just
falling anyway?
confused.
Okay, smart people aren't confused. Because they can navigate their way through the confusion. Anyways, this guy's not.
Oh my
But in a
God.
smart way.
Correct. He's done a smart way.
Hello?
That's what happens when you read
Hello?
There's a lot of textbook people.
Keegan, can you talk?
Hello?
Can you talk about per capita, Keegan?
Well, this is exactly like at university, you have a management course, and you're being taught how to manage a business by a guy who never had a business.
Hello?
Yeah. Hello?
No, this is like a lot of people using technical terms to talk about words, and then you have an ultra-Orthodox, Greek Orthodox, shawarma-making motherfucker who thinks he knows the fucking everything sandwich because he's a dumb motherfucker, and then he's criticizing dumb people because he's dumb himself. You see how that works, you dumb motherfucker, you?
Yeah, but Rabbi has a master's degree, so he's not that much.
I don't use
It's not the energy, isn't it?
That's the real authority.
people actually pay Rabbi to teach him things, so he's got
Correct. Well, that's why I benefit from a shitty schooling system. That's
How am I wrong? No, I agree with you about individualism over community. Individualism, the extent to which we have individual freedom is the extent to which really the government should not have that extent. I mean, we the people, that Issa likes to say, truly is the fact that we should be left alone by government. That is our greatest right, and that's what we need. Is we need less government. That is the biggest problem in our society today.
Correct. So it's pragmatic to have a horrible education system because then the students come to me as a tutor and I make money. My kids will be better off since I will homeschool them, whereas your kids will be retarded in school. Exactly. That's the pragmatic. I want it to be a shitty system. That's why it's shitty. Individuals have an incentive to make sure that the education system is shitty. That's why it's shitty in practice, fool. Shit.
No, it's shitty because we have education that doesn't exist. There is no education. It's just shit in, shit out, just like most of these rooms and most of you dumb Jew-hating motherfuckers. It's shit in, shit out!
That's right. Well, it is shitty anyways. Until someone tells me how I'm wrong, then, I don't see it. You can tell me. Yeah, this is actually per capita racist. That's because of Mama Jadi. She doesn't understand per capita and
Hello?
I've been fighting with her for 2 days over it. But she's smarter than us.
Jazzy has the default mode that Rabbi does. Eventually she'll say, because it's about the money. It's about the money. Hey.
Why is the woman in that PTR again so shiny?
AI.
Yeah, I mean, it's AI, but,
She has a very shiny skin.
Yo, I'm gonna steal that PGR, you guys.
So wait, I don't know if I understand, Keegan, I don't know if I understand that meme, because it's technically a meme. I don't understand it necessarily.
Yeah, it's a per capita because per capita.
Yeah, just like under the
Oh my God. Let Keegan talk.
you know how it's hard to open up a pickle jar? So
Oh, I
understand per capita.
Well, she thinks per capita is a term created by white people in order to confuse black men.
So per capita is technically just a division function and gives you at the individual. So yeah, essentially but isn't it just micro macro technically? I mean.
No, it's simply you need per capita to assess differences between performances of different communities, and she just doesn't want to come to terms with that.
Yeah, I get it. She can't understand it, and thus she can't open the jar. She can't grasp the concept.
There's more white people on welfare than black people on welfare. That then must mean that white people are more likely to be on welfare. No, but that's false. You need to do per capita for that. But she just wants to
so we
assume
do
that
per capita based on the population.
But why is her argument against per capita?
Well, I'm telling you why. Because there's more white people on welfare than black people. She wants it to be such that if there's more white people on welfare than black people, that must mean that white people are more likely to be on welfare.
It is a meme that, so if you go on, you can just type in per capita on X and search.
That's what I did. That's where I found my PTR.
So, you literally, I don't know what it is, but it is rare to find a black individual that understands the concept of per capita. It's super simple for us. And I'm not saying this to be insulting, but it is
Well, it
rare
sounds
to find
racist, doesn't it?
somebody.
No, but you know what? I don't think they don't understand it, dude. I think they.
I was typing about per capita with someone, but I don't remember if they were black. I'm trying to
In the end,
I think they do understand it. They just want to wish it into non-existence, and that's kind of the
I
lie.
did all the math, and it came out to be 6% of whites.
See, you could change per capita in that meme to anything. You could change it to anything. I mean, it works for anything.
Yeah, anything that someone is struggling.
But they cannot get it. That's right. For example.
Objective moralism.
No, for example.
Subjective objectivism.
Smoke alarms. You can label that smoke alarm battery.
Eschatology.
Can you give them the stats? David?
Yeah, as I was saying, so I did know the figures based on the U.S. population and the numbers that were reported from Labor Department.
6% white.
Yeah, 6% white. It was 23% black.
Exactly. So although more white people are on welfare, black people are much more likely to be on welfare.
You could put Zionism in there in the PTR.
It just doesn't want to reconcile with it.
You could put Jewish philosophy in there.
Just like Andrew.
You could put Greek Orthodox Christianity in that picture of that meme.
They don't report religion for welfare.
Alright, I'm gonna fuck off your ass. I love you like my
Who's being racist?
No, like many European citizens, you guys show your racism sooner or later.
We are racist.
Because you are
You could put do-gooders and virtue signalers in there.
Because of its multiculturalism. Sooner or later, sooner or later, European countries.
Two-spirit is spiraling.
American demographic.
I can agree on multi-ethnicity, but multiculturalism is bullshit.
Yeah, so you continue losing your population while America continues prospering. All due to artificial revolution.
what's happening in America?
No, it's just another reason that Europe is failing. Sorry.
Multiculturalism is shit.
Okay, so why is
never
Europe
try
failing
under
economically?
multiculturalism. Now,
Why
if
is
you want to
Europe
say
failing
multi-ethnicity, I am
Yeah,
fine with
keep
it.
holding on to your World War II
Multi-ethnicity,
see where it
I
goes.
am fine. I don't care about the colors, but multiculturalism, it clashes. It doesn't
America
work.
should reunify more Europe. We should.
Bad motherfucker. She's just a troll. But it's not a funny troll, that's the problem.
That's the reason why she reminds me of David Bobadilla.
But how is that a troll?
And started getting into our circles by pretending to be a lesbian.
She's actually saying what she thinks is correct. I mean, she is literally projecting her stupidity, but that's not a troll. She's just a stupid person.
But obviously she doesn't believe that. No, Andrea is a stupid person. She's not a stupid person.
Hey!
Hey, we like Andre in these houses. He talks about nothing more than anybody says anything, something. This guy goes on. It's like listening to someone. Hey, he's like learning English, man. He's learning English as we go along. This is ESL study room.
He actually believes that she doesn't.
Don't you know the difference between eschatology and ontology? What is difference?
Don't you know the difference between these nuts and those nuts?
Don't you know difference
These
between
nuts
some?
are huge. Those nuts are small.
What?
Motherfucker, I get paid to
Can you tell me what subjective moralism is?
Yeah, more
Yeah, that is what Simon believes in subjective objectivism.
Tell me about objective demoralization.
No. Simon believes on objective morality based on objective morality based on subjective standards.
Yeah, exactly. Objective morality based on subjective perception. Or
This
subjective
is
validation.
ESL room, correct?
Right.
These nuts.
These nuts are mine, those nuts are yours.
But doesn't anyone disagree with me that Dr. John Dewey was wrong in his educational hypothesis?
No, I think he was right because in the sense that it benefits people who want to be benefited and it harms those who don't want to be benefited, those who do want to be harmed.
But I want to maximize my liberty and make as much money as I possibly can.
I'm just telling you, at the individual level, we have zero incentive to come up with a good education system.
What?
Dewey was a socialist. He was a socialist pragmatist.
Yes, we get that. But you call him a pragmatist.
No, he was.
Yeah, Andrew, but where you failed, Andrew, because you were contradicting yourself, and where you failed is that
No, it was
first you
not
made the
socialist.
hold on.
Yes,
First
you
you
are.
made the claim, yes. First you made the claim of if I pray and it rains, and second time I pray and it rains, and the third time I pray and it rains, I keep praying every time I want to rain, and that is pragmatic. I agree with it. But if you pray and it doesn't rain, and if you pray and it doesn't rain, and if you pray and it rains, but so one time out of 5 times only rains, then you're saying, hold on, you're saying that keeping trying even when it's not raining,
Yes.
that is pragmatic, and that is
Yes,
not
that is
pragmatic.
exactly what he said.
No, that's not what I said.
Yes, that is what he said. Because he said there's a doing it the right way. We're doing it the right way this time.
So
Okay, you didn't pray for the rain correctly the first time.
What this example is supposed to exemplify
Oh,
is that pragmatism gives you false positives.
Yeah, sure.
Not necessarily the
Exactly, but communism is not giving you even a false positive.
This guy's retarded. That's why I'm telling you he's stupid, because he's not even a troll.
How is it giving you a false positive and then you make the claim, oh, we didn't do it the right way? Do you say, oh, we didn't do it the right way when it gives you a false positive?
If your goal is to maximize the environment, if your goal is to create an industry, regardless of what happens to individuals,
You don't even know what they're saying. The environment is collected by definition.
They are pragmatic by the results that they.
But then you're a horrible pragmatist because you're not basing your pragmatism on results.
Individuality is not a prerequisite. That's what I'm saying.
There's not. What you're saying is, if I change the way I pray, then that's pragmatic, because I'm praying the wrong way the first time. Yeah, that's what you're saying. You're dumb. You can't pray the rain.
I want to order pizza.
That's not how it works. And by the way, the environment is collected by definition. So stop playing. I told you, don't play with words. If you want to play with something, play with my balls. You can call me Rabbi.
That would be a very
You
small
can call me
game.
Rabbi. Yeah, you can call me
I'll
Rabbi.
call you Randy. No.
This is like listening to two shit sandwiches eat each other.
This is retarded.
If you would play with your balls, that would be a very small game.
Oh, fine, but let him play with it. It'll be better than playing with words.
He's got what's the problem?
Yeah, I'm so burned. I'm so burned. That's
Exactly. It would be like playing Mario.
You
Thank you.
worked this whole time.
Yeah, he killed me. He's ready. I can't recover. I can't recover.
Why don't you all just take a deep breath? Why don't you try meditation instead of argumentation?
Out of your league, motherfucker. Shit.
I don't even know what you guys have actually accomplished or even said in the past 2 hours in this stupid fucking room.
Anyways, I love you like my child, Andre, and I don't want you to feel bad. I mean, these are afflictions of love. Right? I would like to establish peace with you, but I said what I said.
Was ranking on?
That's right. What a waste of time. You're gonna write your name next to Mr. Edward, because these are the only two I met like that.
I never knew that Ukrainians were so feisty. Like, they got so much piss in vinegar, but they have to bend the knee.
He's only half.
Jordanians are more feisty.
Jordanians are smart. They are like predators, super predator.
I'm not a collectivist. I am who I am.
You are a treacherous, dangerous creature. You are a Jew-hating, anti-Semitic piece of shit.
He's not in Jordania. He's a
But he has, no, he said Jordanian. But he has never,
I told
he has
you
never,
go back to Ukraine and try to free Kiev.
and you go back to Gaza.
But Kiev wasn't taken, so you don't have to free it.
How about you go help the Yiddish
such
Christ?
a low level of knowledge. He doesn't even know what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's such a low level of knowledge, but I just told you in your own domain, son. What are you talking about?
We wish heavily.
Yeah, okay, so how about next time you pray in a different way for the rain, fool? Maybe then it'll happen.
Rabbi, I don't think you understand. You are becoming more annoying than Andre now. Now you are even more annoying than Andre.
Oh my God, let's not call each other faggots or sandwiches or kites. It doesn't
What a
matter.
waste of
Just like,
that time.
no.
Yes, you are a waste of time, Rabbi. You project your own waste of time onto us, Rabbi.
Look, if
You are the waste of time that you criticize. You.
If you're gonna insult, I don't mind it. I really don't. I'll insult you back. Now, if you're a big boy now, you'll come with actual rebuttals. Instead of just saying stupid shit like
Is your way of being all manly?
I'm just, motherfucker, I'm just telling you. Do you want to go down the vulgar road? Do you want to go down the intellectual road? I'm gonna own your ass anyways. So you choose the road, and I'll give it to you. Shit. And nobody got.
Yeah. Well, you know, I gotta tell you, British colonialism in Iraq, I wouldn't want to be colonized by anyone else. Way better than Arab colonization, let me tell you.
back to back, and then who was your favorite action movie, all type of shit. The problem is not. They open the gate from there. It's a domino effect.
Hey, yeah, bro. They wouldn't have these coliseums or these arenas if they did not care or even try to figure out what the people were thinking. If I'm a small population and I'm ruling.
And I ain't had no two-piece on.
I'm black, I know that. I'm definitely know that point.
Oh, tune it up.
When I seen that fender,
Shut your name, say it up.
This is America. If you don't like it, you can go all the way back to the trenches of Kiev, as far as I'm concerned. But in this bitch, it's all about individualism, money, and human rights and freedom. So you can claim that you can do practical things at the societal level. I would beg to differ, and I can tell you how. Your response would be ad hominem, which is interesting since your name is Andre Hominid. You should change it to Andre Hominem. Or you can actually give an argument if you want to sound like a smartass. That's all. Shit, some people are not used to being confronted. Come on.
So what you're trying to say is, in summation, or in a compression, that FetLife and profits is truly the two most important political, religious, philosophical understandings? What are you talking about?
What I'm saying is that you live in a universe where if you wanna cover someone else's ass, you're gonna expose yours. So focus on covering your ass, not fixing society. Society is fucked because again, at an individual level, we have incentives to make sure that it's fucked.
I believe in the now. So who's fucking you in your ass right now? Who's fucking you? Who's fucking you in your ass right now, Rabbi?
Man, what a waste of time. Why do you waste time trying to fix something that's by design not gonna work, rather than focusing on navigating the issue? Is that not more practical? Since practicality is not an option at a societal level, unless you're a communist schmuck. But on the ground, realistically speaking, practicality can only be applied at the individual level by the individual. Can you challenge that? No, you can't. That's right. Okay.
Well, I mean, if you read the Tao Te Ching, the individual is not all important. It's actually a book about rulership and management. So all you can do is look at it from a management perspective, but it's really a question of, if you want to go back to what you're talking about.
From a perspective, though, you can only manage yourself.
I get it.
Again, you're assuming.
I get it. I'm just saying, how do you personally self-optimize? If you're a pragmatist, like, what is the ultimate pragmatism?
According to your own objectives, apply them at individual objectives, apply them with what individual means, and that's what you do.
I think the ultimate pragmatism or ultimate self-optimization is essentially a set of keywords. And so
you're saying nothing.
No, this is what the basis of Kabbalah is. It's the 10 Sephiroth. If you believe in Kabbalah. I know. You're a Greek Orthodox Christian Jordanian, and that's your perspective. I understand it. That's why you side with Putin and maybe not Russia, Ukraine.
I care more about realistically what it is. Like let's use intellect here, logic. Let's please use logic and reasoning. That's all.
Okay, sounds good. So what is your point?
Okay, so
what is your point?
Do you believe society can be managed? Yes or no?
No, probably
okay,
not.
So it's not practical. Done. Period. Point blank. Done.
No, society can be managed, but I'm saying in the Tao Te Ching, the management of non-management is the secret management. That's the best management.
Okay, but you just said that you don't believe society can be managed.
No, I do. I believe there are books about how to manage society.
Okay, I don't think they actually get the job done. Again, they're not pragmatic.
I mean, this is a philosophy. So, anyways, this is basically again an ESL room about people trying to learn how to use the English language, or even doing debates, and you're still talking about nothing. The speed of information transmission is so low. I know. See, you're projecting. That's you. Like you are wasting everyone's time.
Total waste of damn time.
Yeah, that's literally the same guy you were arguing with earlier. Just came back on a nerd.
Yeah, I know. I love that.
Yeah, but I don't know if I agree with you. I mean, I think when you say by design, that's the first thing I would unpack. When you say by design, who designed it?
What I mean is that the system is not working, and it's okay if you disagree with it, I'm fine, as long as you're not like a condescending schmuck who doesn't know shit from fuck like this other guy, but it's not working because it's not meant to work. If it's meant to work, it would work, because humans are very pragmatic, unless you can provide anything that shows otherwise. No, humans are very pragmatic, but we have incentives at the individual level to make sure that the system we create at the societal level doesn't work, because that doesn't put us individually at an advantage. That's what I mean. So the schooling system, we have every incentive at the individual level to make sure that the schooling system is not good. From my experience, I tutor on the side, so I would rather have the students be retarded. This way they come to me and I make money. For example, I wouldn't be able to do that otherwise. Okay. Another thing is the fact that if the schooling system is total shit, I benefit because your kids won't be able to compete with mine, given that I have the choice to homeschool them or to send them to private school. So then it follows that public schooling isn't doing what it's not there to do what it's supposed to do, that is alleviate the education of the masses, but rather it's there to make sure that I get to have an advantage that you don't have. It's a form of gatekeeping. That's my...
No, thanks. I mean, I can't be a congressman sending smoke like the other guy, but I don't find that would actually be practical or pragmatic in this particular situation. However, my issue with what you're stating is you seem to have a whole bunch of assumptions, and the first one I have a huge contention with is the claim that human beings are pragmatic.
Okay.
I think if you would be,
let's work with that one. Okay, so I think they are pragmatic. You think they're not pragmatic?
Well, not in the philosophical sense, but you explain to me what you mean by that.
Because this other fool who was here, he was strictly concerned with the philosophical because he memorized a few lines from a book. But like in reality, if your theory is contradicted by the data and observations on the ground, that means your theory isn't right. So philosophy doesn't mean shit if it's not applicable. Same goes for pragmatism. By definition, it is wedded to practicality and the outcomes that come with it. So then it must be applied. It's not philosophical. To think it's philosophical is up.
No, I get that. I mean, I'm just trying to understand what you're trying to communicate when you say human beings are pragmatic. So, I mean, if we're not going to go by definition, you could point to examples or arguments as to why you believe such.
Okay, so I can tell you, human beings want something, they want something. Okay, every human. I don't think in terms of the collective doesn't exist. You want food. You will try to get food by any means possible to you. And that does include your knowledge, that includes your tools, that includes all the faculty that you may have. A human wants food, he will try to get food. It could end up in his death. However, you can say we're limited by knowledge. Maybe I don't know how to do one thing, but I want to do it and I will try to do it regardless. Humans not being pragmatic would include something like, I want to eat, therefore, I'm going to make sure I don't go to I don't go to the fridge. I'm going to pray my hunger away. Just to eat, correct?
Well, no, I understand that, but I mean, I assume when you said they're pragmatic, it's speak into a certain proportion in comparison to other things. I mean, you could point to examples of human beings pragmatic and say they're pragmatic, and I could do the opposite and point to many examples of ways in which we understand what needs to be done, we understand what needs to be done in order to get there, and we don't. So it's like a lot of people want to.
That's where I disagree. I don't think I don't think we necessarily understand what we need to get done, what we need to do. That's why people like the other fool come claiming that they're doing things in the name of pragmatism, but it's really not practical. It didn't work in practice. So they think it's pragmatic. Pragmatism is very linked to rationality to my mind, and I do think people are rational. However, they are lacking knowledge in certain areas that prevent them from behaving rationally, but they are rational. For example, if I tell you, I can give you $100 or $1,000, which one would you choose? You would choose $1,000. Now, if I tell you, I will give you $100 or some other sum, which is $1,000, you just don't know about it, then you might choose $100. Okay, you admit that you're rational. Okay.
Fourscore and 7 years. Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to become a big content creator one day, but I have no supporters. So if you have the chance, please subscribe. Please don't scroll. I'm just trying to become a big content creator one day, but I have no supporters. So if you have the chance.
Alright, come on. Just show me what you got. What do you mean? Just show me how you would kiss me. Well, I wouldn't kiss you. I'm not me. I'm Allegra. Allegra.
But no, they both do. And
Why do you sit quietly and with yourself? All kinds of things will come to the surface. Do nothing about them. Don't react to them. As they have come, so they will go by themselves. All that matters is mindfulness. Total awareness of oneself, or rather, of one's mind.
Okay, Hermes, I'm going to recreate this room. I hope you enjoy it.
The mind must be open and quiet to see. you're trying to do here is to bring our minds into the right state for understanding what is real. Keep quietly alert, inquiring into the real nature of yourself. Relax and watch the I am. Do not try to be quiet. Do not make being quiet into a task to be performed. There is nothing to practice. To know yourself, be yourself. Let your true nature emerge. There is nothing to do. Just be. Do nothing. Be. Just being aware. And affectionate intensely. Keep very quiet. When you sit quietly and watch yourself,